is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
Thank you for making Saints Central your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. Thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, fucking like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
It is getting kind of hectic. It is getting very hectic in this joint, man. The Saints on a 3-game slide right now, man. And, man, I don't know what to say about this, fam. What do you guys think? I don't know what to say about this one. Oh, man, this is crazy. And then people are like, Q, come on. You didn't think they was going to win. Kansas City ain't played well enough to, like, man. The Saints, if they would have did make the stupid play, the stupid interception, missing the extra point, stuff that hurts you, just being unintelligent out there, just winging it, making the catches. You compete with this team, but when you miss catches, when you don't block like the Saints offense, we're going to go over the numbers. Let's take a look at the numbers, man, because that's really crazy to me. The Saints on the final game, Saints go down 26-13 to KC. Oh, man. What can I tell you? It's getting kind of hectic, fam. It's terrible, man. I don't know what to say about this, man. I'm kind of a little speechless because it's football, man. Blocking, catching, passing. It's football. It's football. All right. Anyway, first downs 28-14. Kansas City had 28 first downs against the Saints 14. Saints were 4 of 10 on third down, 6 of 14 on third down for the Chiefs. Saints were 0 of 2 on fourth down. Kansas City had 80 plays versus the Saints 51 plays. Total yards, Kansas City 460 total yards versus 220 by the Saints. They more than doubled the Saints' total yard totals. 10 all on the drives. The Saints averaged 4.3 yards per play. Pat Mahomes boys and the Chiefs almost 6. 321 yards versus 174 yards passing. Them people had 139 yards running the ball against the Saints' 46 yards. The Saints ran the ball 15 times for 46 yards. Are you kidding? 15 carries, 46 yards. That's just over 3 yards per run. The Chiefs, 139 yards off of 39 attempts. That's 3.6. They ran the ball really good. Red zone, Saints 1 for 1. They perfect when they do get there. The Chiefs were 2 of 7 in the red zone, still good enough to beat the Saints. The time of possession was ridiculous. Almost 40. It's a 60-minute game, fam. And the Chiefs had the ball for almost 40 minutes of a 60-minute game. The Saints just over 20 minutes. Absolutely ridiculous and stupid. Almost 40 minutes the Chiefs held the ball from the Saints and doubled their play total. So you had the 35 pass attempts by the Saints versus 15 rush attempts. You're not going to win any games like that, family. It's not going to work. You got to get the running game involved. And then, of course, you take a look at the individual statistics. 18 to 21 for Carr for $165, 2 touchdowns and a pick, sack once, 89.1 rating. Hayner came in 2 for 7 for 17. Kamara, 11 rushes for 26 yards, 2.4 yards per carry. Once again, no offensive diversity. Again, we kept asking the question, what's wrong with Clint Kubiak, man? Can I ask the question to the family? Bringing Pops Q momentarily, but what's wrong with Clint Kubiak and his inability to get anybody involved in the running attack? I thought Alvin Kamara had busted ribs. I thought you was going to use other people in the running attack. They gave Jamal Williams the ball twice for 9 yards. He averaged over 4.5 yards a carry. We couldn't get him involved more. What's wrong with this guy? Why can't we seem to do anything else but to run our injured play? Could we? Because usually, sometimes this happens when you have a running back doing some stuff. You know, if y'all go flashback to when last year, the Carolina game, right? No. What game was it? Was it the Carolina or the Falcons game? I think it was Carolina. When Kendre Miller was getting going late in the game. Remember, the Saints wasn't getting any traction. Which y'all remember which game it was? Kamara wasn't running the ball good. Jamal Williams wasn't running the ball good. But when they put Kendre Miller in the game, Kendre Miller was picking up and making moves. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes another running back might have the running back. Sometimes that happens. You'll have a running back that has the running back Holy Ghost spirit with the line. It happens from time to time. But we simply did not get anybody else involved in the running attack. Once again, we over relied on Alvin Kamara. I don't understand why we can't. It keeps happening. I don't understand. Then we put all the pressure on Carr, which is you're not going to win that way. I know that you can't win with him like that. So if you're not running inside, try to run outside. Get speed components to get outside. We did this early in the season. That guy done threw all that out of there. And now he just tunneled vision in for he doing the same shit he did the last 3 games. Whatever we was doing in the previous, he just threw it all out. I don't understand. If you can't run inside, you got to try to run outside. If you got to use speedsters to do it, then do it. What's wrong with this guy? I don't understand, man. Why is he can't focus to say, well, I'm just gonna run Alvin Kamara. That's all I'm gonna do. I don't have Taysom. What you want, Q? We don't have Taysom here. Alvin Kamara doesn't have broken ribs. Yeah, he got that and the hip pointer and some other shit going on. So why you just putting all of it on? Well, I don't know what else to do. Shit, I don't. Come on. Come on. Rashid Shaheed, 4 catches off of 9 targets, 86 yards in the score. Alvin Kamara, 6 catches for 40. Juwan Johnson, 5 for 31. Foster Moreau, 2 catches for 13 yards in the score. Chris Olave, 2 catches for 10 yards off of 4 targets. Just the running attack period. It can't be like this. We got to run to win because you're not going to get into the play action bag like that. We got to run to win. We can't put it all on Derek Carr. You're not going to win with him having almost double the throws than your rushing attack. That's not going to happen. That happened last year, especially early on when he doesn't know the offense like that. You're not going to win games like that. If Alvin's hurt, you got to get other guys involved. What did Jordan Mims go and kick his dog in the nuts. I don't know what's going on. Why Jordan Mims ain't even a thing. I don't know what's going on. Did Jordan Mims pissing his cornflakes? I don't know what's going on. The dude just refuses. It's like I don't know what's going on. Can we get something else going on here? I don't understand the diversity. We don't have any rushing diversity here. If we can't run with Elvin, then we just be damned with it. So I mean, anyway, it's just trash. DeMario 11 tackles. Anthony Orji has 10 on the day. A sack by Brian Brissy, a sack by Chase Young. The Saints got the Mahomes boys twice. One of them was a gimme. Colin Sanders had the pick. He ran back for 37 yards. The Saints did turn that into something. But outside of that, it was the Kansas City Chiefs. Pat Mahomes boys 28 of 39 for 331. He didn't even have any touchdowns. He had one interception. He was sacked twice, 86.6, but it don't matter, right? Mahomes boys threw no touchdowns today, right? According to this. That can't be right. Yeah, that's true because the guy ran on him. He had rushing touchdowns. Yeah, Kareem Hunt had one. You had Xavier Worthy had the other one. So and then the rest of it was a bunch of full goals. So Pat Mahomes boys drove for 331, an interception on the goal line and no touchdowns and still beat the Saints by what is it? By 13, by almost 2 scores. How Sway? How did that happen? Juju Smith-Schuster 7 catches for $130. How Sway? How? Kels 9 for 70. 4 from Nico Hart. They got everybody involved, man. And most of these dudes wasn't involved. They just started getting these guys involved. Nick Bolton 11 tackles on the day for them. 1 sack by Wharton. It was just like I kept showing going to the kittens. I kept showing the kittens and shit. This is pretty much what happened to the Saints today. That's just what it was. You know, I know I showed the snap is getting kind of hectic. Yeah, it was getting kind of hectic. But the kittens this is what KC did to the Saints all day. This is pretty much what it was here. This is pretty much what they did. You know, they are cutely and adorably played with the Saints like a ball of yarn. This is pretty much what they did today. They adorably just wrapped the Saints around there and played and kicked at them, smacked at them. You know, this is what the Kansas City Chiefs did with the Saints today. This is pretty much what it is. This is the official highlight reel of today's show right here. This is pretty much what it is. They adorably, like you see right there, that's Derek Carr right there. And then right here, that's Chris Olave right there. He almost put him in the food. You know, he wrapped him, tried to, twist. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened today. And the game, it was totally awful. It is very sad. Saints now on a 3-game slide is ridiculous. It's dumb football. It's Clint Kubiak, whatever magic he has, he done lost a lot of that, man. The last 3 games have been some suspect shit. And when I'm saying Clint Kubiak is because if you're the offensive coordinator, you got to know and understand that you have to get your guys, your running attack, your guys involved. You got to get these guys involved. You got to get involved. If Jamal Williams is averaging 4.5 yards per rush, why is he only getting 2 rushes? You don't have to. You can have both of them at the same time. Hell, you can use Kamara as a wide receiver to stretch out the defense and hit him with Jamal Williams. Where's Jordan Mims? What's wrong with Jordan Mims? Why is Jordan Mims a vampire? Do he have to put an X on a cross on his neck because he's scared he's gonna go in there and bite him on his neck? What's going on here? I don't know. I'm trying to find out what the hell is going on. Why we can't use Jordan Mims, who's a speed component, a guy that can catch the ball out the backfield that will work well with Alvin Kamara, a guy with speed and versatility who also can block. What's wrong with Jordan Mims? What's wrong with using Rashid Shaheed in the running attack on the end arounds? Why aren't we doing that anymore? That's what I was saying before the touchdown to Foster Monroe. It's like, man, this offense, the pre-snap motions and all this kind of stuff, we don't see any of that anymore. He done totally just got rid of it. And the dude is doing the same shit over and over again. Pardon my verbiage. I don't get it. I don't know what's going on here. Black Preacher said maybe Loomis will finalize DA just the loser. And right now we still got a lot of time left to go in the season, but right now, listen, fam, this can turn bad really fast. I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason is because and thank you, Black Preacher Man. Appreciate you for that.
Thank you. Fuck too kind.
First and foremost, this can turn bad very fast for the Saints because number one, this game puts the Saints on a short week. They got to play Tampa, who had played Atlanta on a Thursday night game, so they got extended time to get ready for the Saints. Then, after that game is over with, the following Thursday night game, they have Denver. So if these injuries mean something, the Saints can find themselves on a slide to hell real quick. So anyway, let me bring in Pops Q to get some game from him on this one, man. Pops, how you doing tonight, bro? You got you get your sound right, Pops. We can't hear you. Check your sound. Can you hear? Okay, I can't hear him. Try to pop back in, Pops. Pop back in and pop back out. Oh, there you go. Uh-oh. I heard something and then it went back out. You got a button on that headset that turns your sound on? All right, we're going to see if we can get Pop's sound together right here. I'm going to get him to pop back out and pop back in.
Can you hear me?
There you go. You go.
I got it now. Sorry about that.
You got a button on there? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, they got a button and they also have a volume control on it. And I just had the button turned up. But anyway.
Yeah, you was on some you pulled the car right there, but that's all right. We forgive you. You kind of threw the ball in the coverage on that one, though. That's all right, Pop. You're forgiving kind of.
I was going down and I threw the ball up and was hoping that the other guy, our guy, would catch it, but the other fella got it. Anyway.
Well, at least you didn't thank him. You didn't tell him congratulations. So. But what you think about the game so far, Pop?
We keep giving gifts to the other team to start off with. Carr refuses to take the sacks. He's always trying to see if he's trying to stretch a play that's not there. And so he throws the ball up and then the guy picks it off. And I mean, the offense wasn't
hold on just a second, Pops. Here go Dennis Allen with some excuses. Here we go.
Left side injury and he's out. And so I haven't gotten any updates on that, guys.
Are you guys worried at all that like Debo in those situations might become something that teams try to go to? It kind of felt like they went back to it after that first one was kind of close. Like is that a trend you got to kind of?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're going to take their shots. I'm going to have to go back and look at the, tape and see, what I thought of the call and whether or not I agree with it or not. But, yeah, I mean, they we got to force them to have to make completions and finish the catch. And so I think we just got to look at it and see what we can do better.
You mentioned the team not playing up to its standard. How much of that maybe the Chiefs winning in the trenches on both sides?
Yeah, probably some. I thought defensively, I thought they did a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage and made it really difficult for us to be able to run the ball. And they had some good pressure packages that gave us some problems that we needed to do a better job of picking some of those things up. I thought the biggest thing from a defensive perspective was our inability really to get Patrick Mahomes down at times when we had opportunities to. I thought he did some really unbelievable things and made some really good plays in terms of scrambling, and that was a challenge for us. Yeah, look, I think you certainly don't want to, start a game off that way. We had a few good plays there to start the game, and then, we throw the interception and kind of all the momentum goes to them a little bit. And I felt like, we had some things that we liked to open up against these guys. And if we could go down and get some points and maybe get a little bit of momentum ourselves, that would be big in this game. And unfortunately, it didn't work out.
Obviously, you knew with some of the offensive line injuries that you kind of have to get rid of the ball quickly if you take that. But what was something you hoped would be effective on offense tonight that wasn't?
Well, look, I mean, we only had 49 offensive plays and a little under 20 minutes of time of possession. So, there really wasn't a lot that we were able to kind of get done really in either phase, offense or defense. And I thought we made some uncharacteristic mistakes that we hadn't made in the first 4 weeks of the season. And so, like I said, I think that's why we got to go back and look at, what are we asking our guys to do? And make sure we're putting them in the best position to be successful.
And then there were a handful of deep shots to Shaheen and Tim that didn't connect. Was that something that was heavy in the game plan, or that was just like the best that was offered in those opportunities?
Well, I think we went into the game saying that we wanted to take some shots down the field, and we talked about, they don't give up a lot of explosives, but there's going to be a few opportunities that we've got to be able to make the moment of truth play. And, unfortunately, we weren't able to make those on some of those deep shots down the field.
It seemed like they were taking Olave away, 2 targets.
Yeah, look, they did some good things to try to take him away. I think I'll have to go back and look at the tape and see exactly what all they were doing. But look, they got a good team. They got a good defense. Spags does a really nice job of what they do defensively. Offensively, they have some talented players on offense, and obviously they've got the engine and Pat Mahomes that makes it go. So, they played better than we did tonight.
What is the decision to have Lucas Patrick shift over to left guard when he came back?
Yeah, I just thought we wanted to, make a change there at left guard. I'm not sure. Again, I'd like to go back and look at the tape, but I think, we just felt like we might need to put somebody else in there at left guard.
Dennis, how do you view defensively overall today? Just, a lot of stops down in the red zone, but they're obviously getting there.
Yeah, I thought the one thing that we did well and defensively was red zone defense. I thought we played well, in the red zone, but I thought Mahomes made too many plays scrambling. I thought we made too many mistakes. Had some free runners, which we don't usually do, and so look, I got to put that on me. I mean, I got to do a better job of getting those guys, understanding what we're asking them to do and get them better prepared to play.
What did you see with, I guess, Travis Kelce was able to get open a few times?
Yeah, same thing. I mean,
with the Debo, like he's had penalties, and 2 of those were pretty critical late game situations. Is that something where like you might just revert to bad form, like in these big situations? And so, like, how do you coach that out of them?
Yeah, look, we just got to continue working. We got to keep practicing. We got to keep working on our technique and our fundamentals, and keep improving. I think we got to do a lot of that in a lot of different areas on our football team. Okay, guys, thanks.
Can you describe how you're feeling now?
Not good, but we'll get a MRI and all that kind of stuff tomorrow and figure it out. But for me not to be out there with my guys, no matter the situation, it takes something. So
what was the determination? Like, what was it that they saw that made it? You couldn't go back?
I couldn't do what I needed to do in the simplest form, and so I asked if there was anything we could do about it, and there was not enough time to be able to do that. And so I would have done anything to stay out there and keep fighting, but I couldn't. So it sucks.
Was it that last hit, or was that something else?
Yeah, it wasn't even the hit, honestly. But just when I dropped back and torqued to throw that ball to tip, that's when I felt it.
Hey, Darren, what happened on the first interception?
We had someone come free, so I tried to throw it away over his head and clearly didn't throw it out of bounds. So boneheaded, stupid, trying to throw that ball, trying to be legal because I still thought I was in the pocket, but throw it, I can throw it away in front of me. But my reaction was just to throw it away over his head, and it obviously didn't get out of bounds. And so I was trying to throw it away, but they ended up getting a free one.
Coach Allen mentioned that this was the first game that this team really outplayed completely in the season. Do you agree with that? What were they maybe doing that was getting frustrating?
Yeah, they came out to play, and we didn't execute early, and we fought back. We started playing better and all those kind of things. But against a team like this, you got to be on it from the get-go. And so we were not on it from the get-go, and that's what happens. You get down to a team like that, it's hard. With the pressures and the different coverages and all that kind of stuff to the games they do, and timing and all that kind of stuff. It makes it really hard. So felt confident and comfortable in what we were doing, schematically, but they just they beat us.
There's a lot of things that were obvious in this matchup that you're going to have to work around, the offensive line injuries, presence of Chris Jones, and things like that. What was something you thought would be effective that wasn't today?
Yeah, I mean, he did a great job. Chris, I've played him, I don't know how many times now. He and Spags, he does a great job of, trying to get after your protections, and Chris does a great job of winning, and he's one of the best players in our league. And so I got the utmost respect for him. He knows that. And when you play a guy like that, that stuff's going to happen. He's going to win. Good players are going to win. But he was able to get back there and cause some chaos a couple of times, and they were with the front. But that's going to happen. That's football. I was proud of us that we kept fighting and even had to move some guys after that. We kept playing and went down, scored a couple of times. I thought I was fully confident, and all the way until I got hurt, that we could win that game. But again, going down early to a team like that makes it really hard.
You're able to work through injuries, not miss games. Is this similar to anything you've had before? Do you feel like it's going to be enough time?
I just don't know yet. It wasn't like a pain thing. It wasn't like dealing with pain. Like, can you deal with the pain? Then you can go. It's like literally I just can't do what I want to do. And so obviously it's fresh and just happened. But me, like I'm going to do anything I can to make sure I'm there on Sunday. Yeah. It was just me and my quarterback coach. It was a good thing. It was.
What was the throw to Tipton on the play that you got hurt? Was he sort of a hot read, or was he the number one on that?
He's the number one, and they brought an all-out pressure. I saw the all-out coming, so I knew I just had to buy time and give him a chance to get his hands on it. And so, he's number one.
I'm wondering, is it possible that during the early part of the season when you guys were winning, could that mask mistakes or flaws that maybe you guys didn't notice at the time that you have to make a correct going forward?
Yeah. I mean, it obviously can, but I thought, I think Clint does a great job. I've told you guys this. I think he does an outstanding job, even in the successes that we just worried about the process, So we turn after every practice, good practice, bad practice, we turn the film on, we correct it, good game, 40 points or, not 40 points, we correct it. And so, I don't think that I honestly don't think that's a problem with our guys and the character of the guys in our room. And so can it happen? Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. I've been on teams where you win and you overlook some things sometimes, but I think Clint does a great job of, hammering some of that stuff out.
Doing take Chris away. I know he had that one catch that didn't count, but
yeah,
2 catches, 10 yards.
Yeah, that's frustrating. And it's not from a lack of me wanting to throw it to him. I tell you guys all the time. Everyone knows I want to throw it to Chris. Chris knows I want to throw it to Chris. He was coming. There was one time they came free. He was coming wide open on a 3rd down. I was about to hit him for a big play, but we ended up couldn't get it to him. We ended up having a sack there. We hit the go route. We hit those 2 plays, and it feels different. You know what I mean? So it's frustrating. When you grab the sheet afterwards and you see that because he's an unbelievable player and an unbelievable person, a good friend. So I love him to death, and I never want that day to happen for him. But those 2 plays right there would have felt a lot different. But we were able to hit other guys on some things, when they did try and take him away. But, still, you never want to see that at the end. That's not a good feeling.
There were a lot of deep shots in this game. Was that something that was a big part of the game plan, or that was all that was presented to you in some of those situations?
it was a big emphasis for us, trying to hit those shots, and we were able to hit, a few. And when you're throwing them that far, down the field, you're not gonna hit them all, and so, you know, maybe that makes third down, tougher sometimes, but that's the game you play. We hit a touchdown. Clint said, we're going to call these shots this week, and if we don't hit the first one or the second one, we're not going to stop calling them. We're going to keep taking our shots, and so that was definitely like an emphasis, for us. And I love that aggressive mindset. You have to be against a team like this.
Just to clarify, for your injury, it's only
I think so. Yeah, I think so. We'll find out more tomorrow.
How was the process with Connor, obviously taking over that game there?
Oh, he's unbelievable. I said that in practice, his first at whatever day it was, his first day, I looked back at Clint. I said, this dude's pretty freaking good. His communication, his mentality, just in a big Monday Night Football in Arrowhead, doesn't even blink. He's out there, great snaps, great communication. Very, very impressed with him.
How much of the run game being effective maybe is because you guys have done some juggling on the offensive line? It's like your teaching, not showing just what's your take on the run game.
Yeah. Anytime that you got new guys playing next to each other, there is a learning curve. That's just a fact. I don't know if that's the right thing to say or not, but that's just a fact. And so we definitely have work to do. We all know that. And I just want to be there to be able to be a part of it.
I'm not trying to pinpoint blame or anything, but just from your perspective, I'm thinking of the early deep ball tipped in. There was one later. Did she go the other way? Did those balls go to the spots you were hoping they would go?
Yeah. Again, when we throw those deep balls, it's hard to hit on a lot of those, and so the one early to tip, I was trying to throw him away from the safety. He took a higher angle, but that's something for him and I to, learn from. I threw him another one down the sideline on 22, it's hard for me to, see the sideline. I'm trying to just place the ball, over the corner to him on that one. And then the one to Sheed, on the right, trying to give him a chance, on the other side of him. And, again, those are, those 50-50, those plays, it's hard to hit them all. But our standard is high. And so we're going to keep the standard and try and hit them all. And so, we felt confident about them all. And that's why Clint kept calling them, because he knows that, we've hit a lot of those early, we just didn't hit them all tonight.
Was there any improv involved this time with Foster, or that was just how it was drawn up?
That was all, our staff. That was all our staff. That's how they drew it up. He wasn't first in the read. I had two reads before that, and then someone was coming free, so I knew that my outlet would be there. And so, really, really good design.
Derek, after the last three, not the way you guys want, where do you feel like the team's at moving forward?
Well, you standing there and listen to our leaders speak, and you hear DeMario saying stuff. You hear myself and other guys saying stuff like, we're not going to let this thing, become a snowball. You can't. And so, sometimes the end result is no one wants to lose. The end result is not what we want, but our process and the way we work can't change. But you do have to look at it and say, what is it? Each man has to look and say, well, what is it that I'm doing that maybe I could do something better? And if everyone does that, it'll be hopefully the same kind of turnaround we had, last season. But our team and the unity is in a good place. And that's a good sign. We have fallen, 3 times, but there's no quit. There's no pointing fingers. There's none of that. And so, proud of the character of this team. It's a tight group. And we're going to keep fighting, whoever we play next, whoever we play after that, we're going to show up and we're going to play.
Did the captains address the team like in earlier losses, or did y'all feel like that was something that needed to be done?
I think it wasn't even like a moment like that. It was just like, when Double D says something, when I say something, or when Eric would say something, when Tyron says something, we all lead, Cam will say something. We all lead, throughout the season. And it's just some of those moments where, hey, just a reminder, like, we're going to be all right. This sucks. It's not what we want. It's not what we thought was going to happen, especially after the first 2 weeks. But we're going to be all right. We're going to keep working. What can you do? Everyone, we talk about all the time in this league, people are going to love you. They're going to hate you. Neither matter. Just keep working. Like as professionals, we just got to keep working, stay true to the process, and hopefully get better and get back in the win column.
Right. Thank you, Darren.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, man. About this one, man. It's a very hard to lose this bad against this team, man. But listen, man, we hear from Dennis Allen, you hear from Derek Carr, and really and truthfully and honestly, it's what can I say? All right, Pops, are you still there, sir?
Yes, yes, son, I'm still here.
All right, I think that's the end of the hit parade. You want to chime in on your thoughts of what happened with the Saints today?
Well, they just were outmatched. The Kansas City Chiefs played good, snappy football in what they do best. They had guys. A lot of their guys were getting open. They were running routes that made it easy for Patrick Mahomes to get them the ball. I saw several instances where there was a couple of Kansas City receivers that were wide open down the field, and Pat wasn't missing them. We also saw cases where Kareem Hunt. Now, this is supposed to be a guy that's been out of the league for a couple of years, and he's coming back in, running like a bull, running over everybody. And they just ran the Saints offense. The Saints defense ran them down, ran them into. They couldn't stop them. There was one series where Kansas City just ran the ball. Didn't have to. Once they realized they didn't have to pass because they were giving up so many yards in a run, they just kept on doing that. And they said, we're gonna keep on doing that until y'all stop us, which they never did. But to the Saints defense, they did hold Kansas City out a couple of times for most of the night, just like they held Atlanta out for most of the night. But just key turnovers and key mistakes causing the Saints these games. And it's getting to the point where I sit here and watch these guys. Well, we got to do better. We got to get this done. We got to do better. But I mean, it all reflects back on Dennis Allen as the coach. Maybe Dennis, it's time for Dennis to go. He's been here. He haven't improved the team since Peyton left it. And maybe it's time for him to go. It may be time for the Saints to find somebody else who a better coach. Maybe try to find somebody who can come in and motivate this team and use these players to the best capabilities instead of just running some basic plays that most NFL teams have figured their game out. I mean, they got away with it for a couple of games after they beat Dallas, and then all of a sudden the next team they played figured them out. Philadelphia figured them out, and so did Atlanta, and now this team here doing the same thing to them. That reflects on the head coach, and he's constantly finding excuses, and he's never had any answers for how to get the team better. It's just like after they lose, it's like, okay, well, we're gonna do better. We're gonna do this and that. Son, I'm just to the point. I'm on the get rid of Dennis Allen train right now.
Yeah, a lot of people. I'm listening to you, Pops, as we kind of going through the chat, man. A lot of people are in agreement with you about getting rid of Dennis Allen, man. The only person that probably not riding with us on that is Mickey Loomis, who has the power to do that. There's looking forward. Well, before we get there, I agree with you, Pops. I think the Saints, the Chiefs wasn't a prime Chief team. You got them 5 weeks in. There was a lot of throws that Mahomes missed out there that he wouldn't miss when he's prime, when they get to the middle of the season. So there was a lot of football plays left on the field by the Chiefs. The Saints simply just did not capitalize. The biggest thing that I realized from watching the Saints play tonight and the loss against the Kansas City Chiefs was the fact that offensively, from the offensive line perspective, just looking at it offensively, the offensive line just didn't do a good enough job in helping and running the ball. I mean, it was terrible. He couldn't run the ball. And of course, if you couldn't run inside, I was wondering if they would get guys like Rashid Shaheed involved, getting him a couple of carries where you can kind of, stretch out on that, get around the edges, stuff like that. We didn't do that at all. He kind of basically just force fed Elvin Kamara to the teeth of the defense. Very rarely did we use a fullback. Maybe 2 or 3 times did we use a fullback to run the football. So I was kind of questioning a lot of what we've seen. Now, there were a lot of positive plays in the past, but if you look at the statistics, the pass versus the run ratio, you're not going to win a lot of games if you're the New Orleans Saints, if you throw in almost double than what I think it was 30-something attempts that he was on, that it was for him. Let me see. It was, 28 attempts by Carr versus, what was it? 11 carries by Kamara? Actually, 13 carries. So it's like 28 attempts versus 13 rushing attempts. And really, and even Dennis Allen alluded to it when he talked about the Kansas City Chiefs. The time of possession was ridiculous, Pop. The Kansas City Chiefs held the ball for almost 40 minutes of the game. They doubled the Saints' plays up, so they had to restrict it. So
yes, they did. Mm-hmm. They sure did. Held it for a long time, and being out on the field, the defense was getting tired. They were giving up chunk plays, especially in the fourth quarter when you got to step up. Look at the guys wide open. That pass to Juju was absolutely just pitch and catch football.
Yeah.
Juju would have scored. He got all the way down to, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 yard line before they finally got to him. That's because the Saints didn't get the front line can't put any pressure on these quarterbacks. I knew they got to Mahomes a couple of times, but a couple of times is not good enough in this game. If you want to beat a team like that, you have to keep heat on him. You have to keep heat on that quarterback. Force him into a mistake. The Saints weren't able to do that tonight, and that's why Mahomes, he was successful against it.
Yeah, that was man. It was. We had fun tonight watching the stream, doing the play-by-play, but boy, it's just chilling out with the fam and having fun. But boy, a lot of plays by the Saints. The Derek Carr interception, he said he was trying to throw the ball out of bounds by throwing it off the back foot. That as a quarterback as old as he is in the NFL,
you should know better.
He should know better than to do that. That's totally unfundamental for him to do that. He then did a similar play later on in the game when he tried to throw to Rashid Shaheed off the back foot. You're supposed to plant and throw. And it was just more of the same. The Saints have a real problem here in terms of their offense. They got to figure out a way to get the ball running, and their backups is not doing a good job at all. And even the backups are so bad, they're making the Tali Fuaga look bad. Like the guys that were playing really good, Pops, it's starting to make the guys the backups are looking so bad.
Right.
Now, granted, they did a decent job because Chris Jones didn't get a sack. That's what I was really concerned how Chris Jones would be, but he was so disruptive inside. The Saints really didn't have much of a run. I was thinking they were trying to do something else to be a little bit more imaginative, but Clint Kubiak's play calling, man, when your offensive line is clunky and junky, then you're going to have to be creative in getting plays, and it's just not happening. 13 points is all the Saints was able to muster today and a loss there. And a lot of people said, well, we knew they were going to lose the game. But like I said, this is not prime Kansas City team. The Saints could play with this team if they eliminate the errors. They just did a really crappy job in doing this, man. So it's just – I'm looking forward, Pops, now spanning forward after this and heading forward. We know ultimately on the short week, they got Tampa Bay on Sunday in the Superdome, and then the following Thursday They got Sean Payton's club. We don't know what's going on with Derek Carr. They took him out of the game. Looking at Derek Carr during the press conference, him moving, and he's an animated dude. He like moving his arms around and shit and talking with his arms and everything. But to be honest with you, Pops, I didn't see any, unless he got shotted up with painkiller, I didn't see anything wrong with Derek Carr here. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't see nothing wrong with him. He put both of his arms up. Look at that. There's no pain in his face unless they gave him a pain shot.
They could have
Put him
probably.
in the tent.
They probably gave him a pain shot. Something to dull the pain. If so that cause like he's he is putting his hands up like he's trying to, as he normally does, explain. So maybe he'll be ready. I don't know for sure if he'll be ready for Tampa. But if we don't have at least some kind of experienced quarterback, Tampa gonna have a field day on us, and they'll be mad with us first of all because they're getting a hurricane and beat them up down there. They gonna come up here and take it out on the Saints.
That's true. That's true. They'll be inspired to play for their people.
Yes, they would be. They'll be inspired to bring home a win, especially in the division. And we got to be on our best P's and Q's. So they got to get whatever's wrong. They got to get that fixed. They got to be able to fix it. I'm hearing the same excuses from Dennis Allen after these losses. Just like last year, he was having all these problems with losses, and he was coming up with excuses. Excuse. Well, it's time for them to make a change. You can let him run and see how his course goes toward the end of the season for this season, and then if he's not winning or if he haven't gotten a winning record, it's time for him to go. It's time for the Saints to make a change and see who they can bring in here who can lead this team.
At what point, seriously, you think the Saints will contemplate a change? Me personally, I don't think they'll talk about a change. Now, currently, the team on a 3-game losing streak. They lost 3 games in a row, and they got Tampa Bay, and then, like I said, Denver in a short period of time. I don't see them making a change right now.
No.
At what point, Pops, do you think a change will be made? Do you think they beat Tampa Bay and Denver coming up?
They don't have the offense to match Tampa's offense for one thing. So it's gonna have to be a slow grind. The defense is gonna have to carry the offense again, like it's been doing, to even have a shot at beating Tampa Bay, because Tampa Bay is a pretty good team. They lost to Atlanta in overtime. So the Saints is not going to overtime with them, and they're not going to allow them. Chris Godwin, what's that? Evans kid,
Mike Evans,
and Chris Godwin, and they got this big tight end that they use. Man, they wear our team out. I'm just hoping that we can hang with them. Maybe we can get some pressure on Baker Mayfield. Maybe get a few sacks on him and give us a shot. But all we got is a shot against them. And then as for I'm not too familiar with Peyton's Denver team. But I heard that they've started winning. They've got some good wins under their belt. So I'm not even sure about them either. But I know we could, hopefully we can get a win against Tampa, and then hopefully we can start turning the season around. But it's got to happen. This is a must-win for us. We don't have any more shots. This is a must-win game for us coming up Sunday, and also the following game, at least to get back in the running.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, Pops. The Saints, they on a 3-game slide, man. Atlanta, shout out to my boy Lohi in the chat. It's one of them situations, man, where currently this is the NFC South. Atlanta sitting up there, 2-game winning streak, 3-2. Tampa Bay's 3-2 after losing to the Falcons. The Saints are now 2-3 with another divisional matchup with Tampa Bay. You gotta win these divisional matchups. A loss could be very detrimental because you start seeing some separation occurring. With Tampa Bay would then go up. So the Saints, these next couple of games are must wins here.
Yep.
And the thing is, how in the hell, Pops, do they fix these issues offensive line? Like I said, Derek Carr, for all intents and purposes, got sacked one time. They did a good job in protection. and
Right.
protecting him, but not in the running attack. The Saints were horrible in the running attack today. So, you know, for them to fix what needs to be fixed, that goes to the core of the matter, which is the offensive line, which
Right.
you got all these guys hurt, and none of these guys are like McCoy is going to be out for a while. Cesar Ruiz has a bum knee. He wasn't all that anyway, but he better than what the hell we got. And then outside of that, the Saints offensive linemen, they can't move the power. So what do you, my thought process is just clear them all out of here. Find somebody else that can block. Nick Saldiveri didn't look good. Landon Young didn't look like what we anticipated. There was really no push. We know the Chiefs have a good defensive line, but the last 3 games, this is probably the worst performance rushing attack the Saints have had so far. 20 something odd yards with Alvin Kamara or whatever the hell it was. It was ridiculous. 46 yards.
Yeah, and they fed Alvin the ball quite a bit, but he was getting hit in the backfield. He was barely breaking through it. There is no blocking. That's I agree. There's no blocking. I don't see any quick fix to it. They can continue to jump, maybe shuffle the line up, the offensive linemen in and out, see where they play best, what position they play best on the line, and then hope to go from there. Or they got to run some quick hitting stuff and quick give Carr some time, let him dink and dunk the ball downfield Breeze used to do. He would dunk and dink the ball down the field. You know how he would do, and he was pretty successful at doing that. But Carr doesn't have that. I remember there's one play of Kansas City, the field just opened, wide open. Carr could have ran the distance that he could have ran for at least 10 yards to get a first down. But he's a Statue of Liberty type quarterback. He won't run that ball. That always helps out too. Look how many times Mahomes took off and ran.
Right.
And Derek had a couple of instances where the field was wide open. He chose to throw the ball. All he have to do is take off and run, and then you then just slide to take the slide down. You have to take the hit, just take the slide and go down. At least try to do something from the offensive side of the ball, other than trying to toss the ball downfield when there's no option there. You got a guy running step for step, but you're wide out. Why put the ball at risk?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? He puts the ball at risk. So he has to make better decisions. If the offensive line opens a hole for you, and the running back is you want to pass and they open the line up for you, take off and run. You shake your defense up. Then he take off and run with the ball because he had a couple of instances the game that we just witnessed. And I saw it. And most everybody else saw it. He had a couple of times he could have took off and ran with the football, tuck the ball and run. Sometimes good quarterbacks, that's what good quarterbacks do. They take what's there, what the defense gives them.
Yeah, this was low IQ performance by the Saints tonight, man, especially the offense. At first, and the crazy part about it, stole a lot of momentum in the entire first quarter away from the Saints, who the first 2 offensive series outside of the QB play, well, just one pass in particular, like Carr throwing off his back foot to an interception, killed a very promising initial drive.
Yeah.
And then the second time, he was in there just throwing off. I don't know what's going on with Derek Carr. That first quarter, he was shook. He settled down. He had a couple of throws in there later on, but you can't have interceptions. You can't have the type of stuff that we did to help the Kansas City Chiefs operate. And then on top of that, we gotta be able to run the football too. So at least, like, there were 2 drives in particular with some of the worst drives of football I've seen this year from the Saints, where they had the ball and it was a 3 and out, and I think they spent like how much was like less than a minute. They went 3 and out on less than a minute and gave the Chiefs the ball back.
There's no rest for your defense.
None at all. 40-minute time of possession by the Kansas City Chiefs on a 60-minute game. That's ridiculous.
That is absolutely ridiculous. And that, like I said, it boils down and falls down on the head of the head coach, Dennis Allen. He's clueless, or he don't know what the heck he's doing up there. I don't know. You know, it looked like to me a lot of times you don't know what he's doing. You know, you need to teach your quarterback. You have an open field, you take off and run with the ball, and then take your slide to get as much yardage. And that's what Mahomes did. I observed him carefully. He didn't just stay in the pocket and take the sack. He took off, ran up and down the field several times. He did it. Why can't our quarterback do that? He could. He's big and strong. He could take that run. And run with the football when you have the opportunity.
Yeah, it's a lot to be looked at, Pops. We got a short week to turn this stuff around, man.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the family members agreeing. They're agreeing big times with you on that. It's a short week. The Saints got to turn around, man. To deal with now. We don't know what this is gonna look like too, Pops, with this Hurricane Milton storm bearing down on them. That game more than likely, with them coming over here to the Superdome, because that game's down here. They're gonna be inspired to play plus of the loss.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get an interesting team. So like I said, man, they got to turn it around to the best of their ability and start with the line. I don't know what to say about that, man. We gonna see what they got to do, man. Dennis Allen is in Derek Carr. He got to get them together. You can't stand up there.
You can't lose to this. You can't lose to this team. You lose to this team, your season is over. As so far as I'm concerned, because you have to beat at least. Because, like I said, they hung with Atlanta, but they gifted Atlanta 2 turnovers, 2 touchdowns that cost them the game.
Right.
Minus those 2 touchdowns, and the Saints had kept Atlanta's offense out of the end zone. Minus those 2 touchdowns, they've won that game easily. But you fumble a punt, a kickoff, and a punt coming down, and you fumble muff the punt, and on your 5-yard line, and then the ball goes into the end zone, and the opposing team falls on it. Then you're already down 1 score before the offense. You've got the hand on the ball.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's something else, Pops. Tampa Bay, the Saints, they can't let them go up because I don't know who Atlanta plays. Who y'all play next, Lo? I think Lo's still at. Who y'all play next, Lo? Because Atlanta and Tampa, a win, a loss to Tampa Bay makes them 4-2. The Saints drop to 2-4
if they lose. Yep.
If they lose, and then they have Denver, and then they kind of in the chase position, which is the hole you don't want to be in if you're the New Orleans Saints. Now they get some extra time after the Thursday game before they get ready for the Chargers. But at the same time, you don't want to be in a hole with the pressure that Dennis Allen, because you're losing these divisional games. The Atlanta game, they got a tiebreak on you right now. If you do that to Tampa Bay, you go 2-4. That's a hole. And then that, Pops, that's like going for Dennis Allen to go 2-4. It's like adding 2 more losses on there, because the pressure of everything just mounts. It's just big time, because he's already it's a situation where people want, he should have been gone last year. A lot of people are saying, and I'm agreeing to it, like Dennis Allen shouldn't have been here. As Mickey Loomis having too much power over the Saints and being a guy that's beyond his time here. It should have been moved on and let somebody else be the general manager. Is stubbornly doing this because he thinks that Dennis Allen is like a Sean Payton. This is how foolish this guy is. He can't see who the guy is. Dennis Allen is not anything close to Sean Payton, not even in the slightest.
He's not.
So the thing is, if they go 2-4 here, man, that's going to be really tough on Dennis Allen and the Saints. I'm just going to put it to you like that. Yep. It's going to be real difficult on them. But yeah, Pops, last thoughts before we close the stream.
Oh, well, we just you got to keep being optimistic. Like I say, even though, we discussing how they lost the game, but I'm still optimistic that they can do something with, especially, they usually play Tampa pretty hard, so hopefully they'll get a win down here. With the dome, and if the dome's filled up and the people are loud, it might give them some impact, and hopefully they can beat Tampa Bay, get a victory, and start feeling good about themselves again. Right now, they're not feeling so good about themselves. They done lost these games. They're losing them. So if we can get a chance to snap back against Tampa, and then do the same, and then build ourselves up to beat Sean Payton, who's coming back here for the first time since he left, then that could be 2 wins will really bring us back up a little bit and help our team spirit, help our team feel good about themselves.
Sean Payton squad Denver has won 3 in a row. They are 3-2 right now, playing some pretty good football when we see them. And like I said, Tampa Bay is going to be inspired to play football in the Dome. Can't have all this stupid low IQ football stuff that we see tonight, man. We got to execute. And Lowe says the Panthers, the Falcons have the Panthers next. So you might as well go ahead on and chalk up a win right there for Atlanta, man. They got the Panthers, man. So how bad they looked against the Chicago Bears. The Bears spanked them. So we know Atlanta probably going to do the same thing. No disrespect to Shad and Dave, but boy, y'all team garbage, bro.
There it is.
They're bad, bro. They're bad.
They are. Mm-hmm.
All right. So anyway, fam, with that being said, listen, I'd like to thank all of y'all for tuning in the stream tonight. Much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all. If y'all hadn't had an opportunity, please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and by all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed, man. The Saints go down with the loss. They fall flat to 26-13 to KC. They're now 2-3. They're on a 3-game losing streak. They face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers noon time kickoff in the Superdome. They got to rebound and get it, man. They got to rebound and get it, man. They got to get back on the right side of things. But anyway, with that being said, y'all, please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share the show. We up in this thing. And shout out to the fam. Listen, y'all, please feel free to look in the description section and kind of give our sponsors of the show some love, man. Mint Mobile. For cheap, inexpensive cell phone service, good phones, inexpensive service. It's high as hell nowadays, super high out here in this economy. If you want to save a few bucks, check out Mint Mobile. Also, Teach Henley for health, men's skincare. You can get 20% off with the link in the description section below, and bet online, man. For this rugged ass economy, if you want to make a few bucks. He makes some, just don't bet on the Saints unless you're betting on the opposite side, right? But anyway, you can check all those links there in the chat. Also, the merch links, the show me gear is available. That's in the comment section below as well. I mean, in the description section below, as well as other merch. So y'all, please feel free to check that out. It helps out the platform. With that being said, me and Pop's gonna holler at y'all on the next one. Listen, I'll be back. What is this day? Today's Monday. I'll be back tomorrow, Tuesday, on our Patreon stream. We'll look at the all 22 tomorrow, man, and take a look at this ugliness. We'll look at it on Patreon to cover all the latest news, injury reports, all that and more. Once again, much love to y'all. We'll holler at you on the next one. Peace. And who that take?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Fucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Fucking like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that?
black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Bet Online. The game starts here.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.